All right, y'all. We are. Oh, I'm looking at your journal. I'm trying to figure it out too. I'm like, which way I'm looking? All right, y'all. We are back. This is another episode of the Squeeze Pod with a real amazing guest crew right now because we got the real pod. The real pod is in the building, and these dudes, yo, they're taking the world by storm. I honestly, the DMV area needs to watch out because these brothers are hot, man. Yeah. They are killing the game. They're talking to all types of people, keeping it really diverse and really, honestly, amazing as hell. I'm a fan myself, so let's get right into it. You know, Totac. I'm trying to get it. Totac and Manny, y'all. Totac. Let's see. I'm fucking it up already, but we're gonna get it better right now. Totac and Manny, y'all. Let y'all rat to them.
Man, what's good, man? It's your man Marathon Manny, the real podcast, man. Born and raised in Washington, D.C. Right here is my childhood friend, Totac.
Man, y'all know over there the real Totac. All praise to God for everything. And like he was saying, childhood friends grew up together, Washingtonians, uptown natives. And we ready to work, man. Shout out to Juice, man, for doing this interview.
Appreciate you having
you guys out because you guys are definitely the motivation for me because I see y'all doing the thing and it just, it really makes me feel good to see, you guys really working hard because I know a lot of guys out here are, caught up in a lot of bullshit, you know what I'm saying? And I know that we as, content creators, we kind of know that you got to get your head up out of that shit, you know what I'm saying? So that way you can succeed. So, getting to know you guys, what is it that, some things that have, like, I guess, life has hit you with that you had to fight through to get to where you are right now?
Yeah, so I just say life in general, life going to hit us all, no matter if you're, black, white, Spanish, Latino, whoever you are, it's going to hit you. It may be small to you, or my problem may be big to you. It don't even matter. So I say this, just losing my family member, like my grandmother, man. That really, man, that put me in a sunken place for real. 2016 was the worst year of my life. But you have to understand this, man. Like, I'm all about self-motivation. You got to motivate yourself to come out that bottom and, skyrocket and just become the best person you can be. So that was it, losing my grandmother. That really turned me up, you know what I'm saying? It turned me up for real.
Oh, man, that's a good question, right? Because listen, my story is not just a mundane story. I think one of the biggest challenges for myself is having gone to prison at a very early age. I got arrested and went to jail at the age of 19. I was a teen parent, high school dropout, had no real direction in my life, and I had to sit down and do some time in federal prison, right? So that right there, like, going in as a teenager and then just, like, having to spend years of my life and becoming a man in there is what, like, really challenged me to become a better person. And ultimately, it helped me out. It helped me get my mind right, but also, like he said, like, early on, me losing friends in the streets, it really, like, it turned the switch on in my head that kind of, like, was pointing me towards the wrong direction, so them two things were like two big things in my life. It's like two big challenges where I had to overcome, and I'm still overcoming, still growing, still learning, still dealing with traumas, but every day with a smile on my face because I'm, like, ultimately blessed and I'm ultimately grateful for everything.
You guys, I just want you to know those were beautiful stories. I think that, a lot of people ain't even comfortable enough to share that kind of stuff, so I really appreciate you guys for being able to share. And Manny, you said something really heavy, man, because, you came from the prison, I would say manufacturing tool because it's not
a reform.
It's not rehabilitating or nothing like that. But I was going to say, like, what was your experience like going into it and then coming back into the world and, like, seeing, like, the differences from when you went in and then even how people were treating you? Because you were saying, like, people treated you differently. And I don't think that, you were the same person, obviously. You didn't come out, transform as a, do nothing like that. But what was it like as the experience? And, Manny, you said something really heavy, man, because, you came from the prison, I would say manufacturing tool because it's not rehabilitating or nothing like that. But I was gonna say, like, what was your experience like going into it and then coming back into the world and, like, seeing, like, the differences from when you went in and even how people were treating you? Because you were saying, like, people treated you differently, and I don't think that you were the same person. Obviously, you didn't come out, transform as a do nothing like that. But what was it like as the experience?
Man, so going in, you know, like I said, being 19 years old, I had no real experience at life, right? And although, like, my life had gotten real before that, like, this was very pivotal, you know, a 19-year-old kid, like, I had no real experiences as an adult, you know. I had, also, like, had a son. He was 18 months when I went in, so it was, like, very traumatic and very, like, uncertain what my life would be like. And, like, you know, like you said, that was in 2014, and that was probably the darkest moments in my life, you know, being in a dark pit, not knowing what was going to become of my life. You know, when I first got arrested, I really felt like it was over with. And, just going through it, like, once I got my prison sentence and, actually learning how to, like, learning myself. Right. You know, I was learning myself in prison, and then I was just, I did change a lot. You know, a lot changed me in that environment where I had to carry myself a certain way, or I had to protect myself in a certain way and harden myself, you know. And, over the years, because I spent almost 7 years in prison, so over the years, it, like, really did change me and, in a way traumatized me, or sometimes, like, shameless to say, it kind of institutionalized me, you know what I'm saying? Because I still deal with certain thoughts of how I would approach things in prison. Okay. Right? Especially in, like, the workplace. Right. You know, or, like, just, like, a lot of people have told me, oh, you're not in prison no more. You know, like, it's different. You got to carry yourself a different way.
You mind giving a couple examples?
Man,
I'm just saying, man.
I'm going to keep it real. Man,
I'm just saying, man. Cause
I'm gonna keep it real. We gonna keep it real, like if I'm on a podcast, bro. Like, and not that I'm the toughest dude or nothing like that, but, like, certain people, like, coming at you a certain way, like, bro, like, in prison, like, that shit'll get you fucked up, you know, like, and it's some people that they're not aware of what they're doing, you know. So it's a term that I learned in prison is that you got to think for other people, you know, because somebody might be oblivious to their actions. They just kind of like in la la land and might say anything out their mouth. But, a real man, knows how to, like, control his actions and another person's actions in a way. Like I said, think for the next man, where, it's like moving chess pieces. So, example like that. Also, like, when I first got out, man, this was funny. Like, I would walk through the mall. Like, I remember going, like, I was in a halfway house in Baltimore, and I would be like, my sister would take me to the mall, and at Foot Locker how they approach you, right? Like they're like, hey, how, can I help you with something? Or, like, I was, like, in a way, like, very standoffish, like I'm just kind of, like, thrown off, like, why the fuck he coming up to me? Yeah. Right? And it's just like it would throw me off because I'm just not used to it, right? And then also, like, just kind of like my patience or, like, my tone of speaking to people, right? Especially, like, especially my son, where it's like I really had to, like, work on how I came off to my son, because I would, I do a lot of thinking and try to, like, look at myself, and I would, like, sit there and be like, man, I don't want my son to always feel like I was, like, harsh on him. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I had to, like, retract, like, like, go back into myself and, like, work on that and have more patience with him and, be more loving and kind to him, even though I can be stern with him. So that's just a couple of examples.
Okay, so thank you first off, because that was amazing too, because it's a lot of men out here that ain't doing well as fathers, and it's not per se that they don't want to be, it's that they weren't equipped, you know what I'm saying, and other things like that. But I applaud you for being a great father to your son right now, man, because I mean, listen, it's a process just like this, you know what I'm saying? One step at a time. You're not gonna be perfect, you know what I'm saying, but just be the best father you can be, you know what I mean? But getting into that, so, one of the topics that's real heavy on my podcast is, like, the intersections of relationship and stuff like that. So I got a question for both of you guys. Do you think that the Institute of Marriage has weight still? Do you think that we should be still trying to proceed to get married and stuff like that, or is it a waste of time, or is it something that we need to change all around and make something better than regular marriage?
Yeah, it's all good. Don't get married. I say nah, but look, I say this at the end of the day, everybody need to change their mindset, because it's not like the old days, the 50s, 60s, and the 70s. It's all around the world. Everybody has adopted that Western, I guess, modernization. So I tell people, man, nowadays you don't need to get married. That's just me personally. Everybody might have their different take on it. Of course, a female, I want to get married, but I think it's marriage for the wedding, like, for the actual marriage. Not because got to understand this. The marriage starts before the wedding. What's about the work? Relationship takes work, bro. It's not easy, bro. A lot of people think it's gonna be like a Disney Channel movie. No, I don't know what world you living in. You go talk to your old folks. It takes work. It was many times they wanted to give up and throw the towel in, but they couldn't because there was so much at stake. And so I say, be honest, man. Like getting married nowadays is really a waste of time. That's just my opinion. That's just me. Everybody gonna have their own opinion about it. So that's just me. What you think about it, man?
All right, so I'm really on the fence with it, right, as far as marriage goes. And I say that because I grew up in a household where I had both of my parents, right, my mom and dad, and that's all I've known my whole life. Like, they still together. There's been, like, I want to say probably close to 50, if not past 50 years together.
That's really amazing.
Right?
Yo.
Yeah,
really
and it's not a perfect marriage. Like, marriage is never perfect, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I grew up, like, seeing that, so I've always had that image in my mind where it's like, I want to have that, right? Or I was, I guess, conditioned to have that. You know what I'm saying? But through like how my life has played out thus far, that's not the case. I'm single. I'm, I co-parent.
Okay.
And like just now the dating pool, like me learning it and like really seeing what's going on out here. It's not the best. Not gonna lie to you. So as far as like trying to pursue marriage, trying to pursue love is, I'm kind of like, I don't know.
Iffy about it.
Right, yeah. So it's like, I'm just like, I'm trying to protect my heart more, to be honest, and more so like pursue my purpose, right? Because I feel like if I'm focused on what I'm supposed to be focused on and doing what I need to be doing, I'm not perfect, but, just doing my best, the things that's for me is going to come to me. So, that's why I say it's like I'm on the fence with it. I'm not chasing it, I hope to have it one day, but at the same time, that's not my main objective.
Okay.
You feel me?
And, since we on the topic and we'll keep it a little light, for my 12% of my viewers who are ladies, because I keep a track of that, they probably going to ask, are you gentlemen single or not? So, Manny, you already said you're single, but, we know how the world goes in America.
Totac. Hey, listen, I'm going to say this, man. I'm living life.
Okay.
I'm single, so all the ladies want to reach out to me. I got my number. Y'all can hit me up on Instagram. You know what I'm saying?
We'll drop it down in the description box, y'all.
So there you go.
Slide up in them DMs, y'all.
Send me the eye emojis. Let me know you interested.
I'm just living life being free. I don't want no tie down. If it work, it don't, it don't. Like, I'm not trying to control you. You can do what you want to do. It's all about respect when you're in my presence. When you're gone, you can do what you want to do. So I always tell people, stop trying to control people. You got to keep telling somebody what to do or try to change it, they not for you. And I'm just being real. I'm sorry to say it. And I think we get in a relationship trying to control people. No, you was that way before you met me. Right. And if it don't work out, you can go right back to the same way. So it's all a fake thing. You know what I'm saying? That's just me.
Yeah, bro. Well, hold up. I'm going to say this one thing, because that they always say that, when you first start dealing with somebody, you meet their representative.
Yeah, of course.
They second
the best version of themselves.
Yeah, they come out with that. But it's like, and, I was even having this conversation earlier. It was like, how easy is it for you after all your trauma, all the stuff that you're going through in life, to really be vulnerable and be that honest you when you first meet somebody? You know what I mean?
That's a good question, because to be honest, like I got fucked up trust issues. I ain't gonna lie to you. Not that I'm like toxic, like, oh, who you with? What you doing? I ain't on that. I'll keep it P, like, all right, do your thing. Right? But I've been betrayed before. I've been, left, like, I've been, people done turned their backs on me before. And it's just like, sometimes, like, I don't know, maybe it's just how my mind works. Sometimes I kind of, like, think of the worst case scenario, right? So, I overthink it, or I, like, I distrust, like, easily. Like, you show me one little funny thing, it's like, oh, I can't trust you. You know what I'm saying? And I stand on it, right? So it's like, that's one of the things that I have trouble dealing with, in a sense, like, my traumas in that sense, where I don't trust easily, or if you show me little signs, it's like, oh, I can't trust you.
Yeah, easily to dismiss them. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. And it's like,
Believe me, I relate, because, like, even coming through my whole little situation, dating and all of that, it is very hard to find that trust. But, like, Totac was saying, it is a Western mindset, because it's more so And I don't put it on everybody, but it is a very taker-esque. You know what I'm saying? And we all say, you know, don't hate the player, hate the game. But the game is fucked up. The game been fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
They got pee in the dating pool.
No, it's shit in the water, and they don't swirl it around.
I'm telling you, man.
You know what I'm saying? Man. Because it's just like, and I wanted to ask you, like, what do you see that's like an issue? But I'm going to point out some of the things that I see real fast. So, like, what I do see now, and in relations to men and women, like I was saying earlier, a lot of dudes, like, they sit in this, like, mindset where, like, they're comfortable. You feel what I'm saying? And being aggressive and all that other stuff is bubbled down to toxic masculinity. You're trying to go out and get what you want, and then there's the vice versa. Well, why don't these men approach me? Why don't these dudes do all of this X, Y, Z? But my thing is, like, you changed the narrative. You wanted men to be women, and then now that you have the ability to be the one in control, you don't want to take control. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, so what do y'all see as the issue?
I'm going to say the issue with this, like Manny was saying, trust issues. And number one, like another thing you said too, I was going to speak on that. The roles have reversed. So now women are approaching men because they're not getting approached anymore. So you're like, what the heck is wrong with her? And so it's kind of like a lot of people, like, you know, not comfortable in their own skin. So when you look at this world, you see everybody trying to do what the next person doing on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. So a lot of people just don't identify with themselves. That's why the relationship's messed up. That's why, instead of being real, tell the female, like, you can't say I just want to hump on you. But you got to break it down like, listen, if it works, it works. It don't, instead of just lying. Because once you a liar, a female ain't gonna never, because females look at lying as a whole different story. They can lie all day. But as soon as you lie to them, they ready to backstab you, do all type of stuff. So what I tell people is this, you know what I'm saying? What I tell people is this, it's like, be real up front. So if anything hits the fan, she can never get mad at you. And the same thing for a female, be real with that man. Mm-hmm. If you just want to have a good time in that long time, let that man know that.
Yeah, so that way he can be about his business.
Men want relationships than women. That's how I feel.
That's
men
true.
Want to be in relationships more than women nowadays.
Yes, sir.
That's how I look at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, keep it real or keep it pushing.
That's true.
Hey, so one of the things that I feel like, you know, is messed up with, and then, you know, not to attack women, but more so, like, from my experience, I be feeling like it's these certain standards that's put on men are just, like, crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be up here with it, you know, and, like, it's just, like, programming. It's just, like, I look at it like, whoa, like, hold up now. You know, like, me having came home from prison, I started from scratch. Mind you, I started from scratch. I never had a driver's license. I never had a car. Never had to pay rent. Like, it's so many things that I have never had to do, and I had to start learning all simultaneously. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, for me to sit there and, like, start, like, meeting these women that are my age, but probably more advanced and, you know, than me in experience.
And like in the dating field as well.
Yeah, but, like, I've been told, like, you don't know how to date, huh? And I'm like, I couldn't answer. I'm like, I don't know. You know? But, I just look at it like, whoa, like, I wouldn't say intimidating, but more so like it puts a little pressure on you, right? It makes you feel like, man, I got to have this, I got to have that, and I got to have this. And that's not a good feeling. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, instead of people, like, seeing you for who you are and, you know, seeing what you bring to the table, not just materialistically, not financially, like, you know, the person you, like, the substance of yourself. People don't, like, it's a lot of people are not seeing that no more.
Yeah, because what I would say, this is where it comes back to that Hitch little situation. All the movies and stuff like that, you can see Tubi TV, anything that you, Lifetime, it's very like, okay, well, you're going to get it when you want it, but then as soon as you don't want it, it's going to be an issue, or if anything's a problem, you leave that situation because guess what? Right outside the door is something better waiting for you, but it's really not. Because
man, you said that, man. I swear to God,
it's really
man.
not. It don't work that well.
You,
like, it's not a fantasy. And the other thing is, like, I was talking to my mother, and I don't know if y'all seen that pod, but, like, they didn't date back. My mom was young. They didn't do that dating stuff.
Marriage,
like, you know what I'm saying? It was either you knew what was up, and, like, you knew the family. You went and, you know, you said you got to know them. Exactly. You got to know them intimately without being intimate. You feel what I'm saying? And then that's the one.
Oh, yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then everything else is something you worked out throughout the time, being married and stuff like that. But then I'm thinking, too, dating is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a thing called pair bonding, right?
Pair bonding, yep.
And a lot of people don't really know about pair bonding.
Pair
So
bonding.
So
This is a good. Can't pair bond. Go ahead, break it down.
Yeah, because pair bonding now it's different for everybody, right? Yeah. But there's a certain amount of people that you can sleep with, be intimate, exchange body fluids and stuff like that. And then after a certain amount of time, there's a different number for every person. So I won't give no statistics or anything here. But after you do that, you kind of become numb to being intimate with somebody that should be your perfect person. You feel what I'm saying? Because you've given it out, you've been damaged. I'm saying you've built up new barriers and like battle scars. Because every time you deal with somebody, you build up a barrier. Some shit you don't want to see in the next person. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So all these barriers you build up might hinder you from meeting that right person because it could have been something that's just like a pet peeve to you. Yeah. That you could have just let it go because it's just okay. They chuckle at the end of their conversation, and you're just like, bitch, that's annoying. Like, why are you always laughing? Like, I'm talking to you seriously, you laughing at me. You know what I'm saying? So then that becomes an issue,
right?
Yeah, and it didn't even have to be that big. But back to the pair bonding. After you pair bond, let's just say the number is 10. After you do 10 people, you're numb to really bonding with the person that you really want to be with because now you have in your head, okay, well, damn, I remember how Keisha pussy used to feel, or damn, that, you know what I'm saying, that little wang I used to get from down the street was always hitting like this, you know what I'm saying? So you'll question it, and then even the questioning will have you think, well, let me go find out, you know what I'm saying? And then after you do all that, that's causing other rifts in your relationships, you know what I'm saying? So you got to kind of, you do have to limit yourself. Limiting yourself, saying that, okay, I'm going to take this off the board for myself, actually pushes you to become greater. You feel what I'm saying? Because without limitations, if you're just free to do everything, real freedom looks really sloppiness. If you were just free to do everything you wanted and had no cuts, you'd be fat as shit. You would never get up. You would never work. You would never take a bath. You wouldn't do anything because you would want everything else to do it for you. You get what I'm saying? So you do need to limit yourself and kind of pack down what it is you want and be about that. So dating with intention. You know what I'm saying? You know what you want. Just like you said, if they showing you even a little bit of funness, let their ass go. Because as you said, I mean, I can deal with you or I can go find something else, but at least I'm giving you the upfront, like, this is all I wanted, you know what I'm saying? I see that you ain't got what I need, and I'm gonna let it go.
You ain't gotta find, like, it'll find you. Like, listen, sometimes I fall back and look, it runs into me and I be like, oh, okay. Right? But that's real. Like, I'm more so like learning to set boundaries for myself, even if I'm not sitting there vocalizing it, right? I don't always have to explain myself, right? One thing I'm like really starting to like really like take more serious is my time. Please don't waste my time. You know, like that's, you know, like time is precious. It's something you can't get back, and I know that for a fact, right? So, you know, respect my time. Like, I be busy, right? And I be trying to, like, if I make time for anybody, respect it. And I've seen people, not just females, but just people in general, like, not know how to respect your time, and it's just like, nah, that's a no-go.
Yeah, because they just, see, and then, I'm about to ask you this one, because that was a good one, too. Like, you ever had a friend that's like, you know, they got mad love for you, but they just want to come around, hang around, waste mad time, probably just smoke and drink, and just watch, you know what I'm saying, just be around. Yeah. And then you can't get nothing accomplished because you're like, all right, well, kind of got to cater to you a little bit, and then, I do got other aspirations I want to do, but, you know, what would you do in that situation? Because it's hard for some people, especially the younger dudes. I hope y'all listening.
Let me say this, man. I'm a loner. Like, I'm a big loner. Like, I've been this way for a long time. So I say 80. Like, I made a post on Instagram today. Young Dolph, like one of my inspirations. Man, RP Dolph, man. RP Dolph, man. Yo, get the money. But listen, I'm gonna say this though. At the end of the day, it's like I'm by myself 85% of the time because I don't believe in wasting time. I don't like to have a lot of people around me because a lot of people around me, that equals a lot of voices, a lot of opinions, and I'm like ready to move when I want to move. That's why I don't get in relationships. I'm more of a friendship type of person. Like, you got to be friends with me to know who I truly am, because some people put you on a pedestal that you didn't even put yourself on, and then they be let down when things don't go the way they want it to go. So I'm always by myself. I'm big on moving by myself because, like I said, when I'm ready to rock and roll, I'm ready to rock and roll. I don't like waiting on people because people will hold you up and slow you up. And so I'm big on like just really getting things done. Like Manny was saying off camera, I'm about getting things done. I don't care if it come out sloppy, long as we get it done. And that's just my point.
Because you can perfect it after that.
That's it. Sure. I ain't worried about that. Like Tupac, one of my greatest influences, man. Yeah.
So I was about to ask you too. You was just saying that and you said something deep too, but if you find somebody, right, that is wasting your time or something like that, what is it? How is it best to let them know that you got to let them drop? Because a lot of people do feel hurt because, you know what I'm saying, it take it personally, you know what I'm saying? And it might be, well, damn, you just against me, and I was, you know, thinking that they was doing right by you, but they didn't know, you know what I mean?
I'm going to follow up. Go ahead.
That's funny. So, depends on the person, for one, because not everybody reacts the same way, right? So, like, if I feel like my time is wasted, I'm just not going to sit there and reach out, or, you know, I'm not going to try. Like, I'm not forcing it, right? I would show effort in a sense. Like, I would show some type of effort, but once I feel like my time is wasted, there's no need. Because if you didn't see that effort before, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not going to keep on putting that same effort. Why? You know what I'm saying? And now let's just say if they, like, notice and be like, oh, man, what's good? Like, what happened? And it's like, I let them know. I keep it real. Like, yo, look, I really feel like you just wasting my time. No disrespect to you, but, like, look, this I'll give them examples of why I feel like my time is wasted. That's it. And, you know, I won't, you know, I'm a very forgiving person. I wouldn't say that I wouldn't give a person another chance to show me, like, all right, cool.
That you ain't about that.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like
it's gonna be a hill. It's gonna be.
You gotta stand on that shit. You gotta stand on.
Big facts.
You got to, because if not, like, I'm, you know, in all of this I'm learning as I go. To keep it real with you, I'm learning as I go. If I'm not standing on what I feel like is my morals and principles, and I'm just kind of like just letting shit go, or like, you know, oh, it's cool, no, it's cool, ain't nobody gonna respect it. I gotta respect that.
That's big, right there.
You know what I'm saying?
Got to. You definitely gotta respect it.
I want to say that. Go ahead.
All right, one more thing, and then also when you was like, what would you do, like, if you feel like people around you wasting time? Something that I, you know, through this, like, you know, the past few years, what I've kind of like had to start learning to do is to be more alone. Just like, you know, in prison I was forced to be isolated and stuff, but out here, you know, I had like so many people wanting to be around me, so many people want to, oh man, what's good, or let's do this, or let's do that. And I would reach out to people like, let's do this, let's do that. So now I started, like, you know, in a sense, like, I started like to take more advantage of isolating myself somewhat, being alone, you know, or just, I really like to move to the beat of my own drum. I don't like being told what to do. Not that I can't be told what to do, but more so I like to do my own thing. And I see that things work out for me a lot better when I'm doing my own thing. You know what I'm saying? Or when I'm in harmony with, like, you know, me and Totac, like, we work well together. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I do. But, like, for the most part, like, me doing my own thing is, like, that's what kind of, like, motivates me to be like, all right, I'm going to just fall back, or I'm going to create space. I'm going to create a distance. But it's all love. You know, it don't have to be, like, bad vibes or nothing. It just make your space. You know?
I was about to say. And you know, they say, this is why I think that this question is good, though, but they always say that your net worth is your network. So all the people that you keep around you really do, you know, at the end of the day, like, pretty much show who you are as a person. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, if the caliber of your best friend is, like, sloppy all the time and all that other kind of stuff, that's you. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So, like, all of that kind of matters. But, like you were saying, like, you do have to be able to cut off. But the thing is, it's like, it's harder to do that, especially when you care. And then let's spin it back to, we were talking about betrayal. It's like, how do you allow yourself to recover from betrayal? Because it only happens when you deal with somebody that you actually, you know, obviously care about, you got love for, you know, you let them get close, because that's the only way they can betray you. Ain't nobody you don't care about gonna ever betray you. You know what I'm saying? So how do you deal with it, though?
Man, listen, I'm very glad you asked that question, because I have an answer. And I hope the people that's watching, or, you know, that would listen to this and hear this, bro, like, I really hope that they take heed to this. Me, personally, you know, through the, like, situations where I've been betrayed, don't get it twisted. I've had, like, anger, resentment, probably even hatred, you know? And, of course, it don't feel good, right? It doesn't feel good. But over time, something would just, like, you know, would tell me, like, you know what? Like, just me from, like, learning from other people and learning from, like, situations where I started to be like, you know what? I got to start forgiving. I got to forgive. Not not just for them, but for myself. Because, like, if I'm just running around here with hatred and resentment because somebody done me wrong, it's like I'm just putting a weight on myself. And that you'll be able to see it. You could see when a person has been through a lot or they let what they have been through show.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
affect they
Anger,
whole mood.
yeah, like probably shoulders slumped over, all that. So it's like, me personally, and like I'm very glad that I haven't been able to forgive betrayal, right? To where as though I feel like me being forgiven and, like kind of like letting things go or growing through them allowed me to, it's just a way better feeling than sitting there and be like, man, fuck that person because they betrayed me. Or having that hatred and resentment. Like, I swear. And I feel like, for me personally, I feel like it's blessed me way much more having been a forgiving person than being like, nah, I can't fuck with you ever again because you betrayed me. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have some type of empathy and sympathy for people.
I'm gonna say this, betrayal. I'm gonna say this, man. Life. I'm gonna keep it real. When you look at betrayal, man, like you said, it only happens when people are close to you. So I'm gonna be honest. I ain't people think I'm close to them, but I ain't close to them. If you get what I'm saying?
You ought to give them a little bit.
But people think they know me, but they don't really know me. So I kind of switch it up because the thing is, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm one of the best people on earth. Like, I'm not perfect. I got my flaws just like everybody else. But at the end of the day, I'm more like people just, when you a good person, they like my grandma always say, when you're a lemonade squeeze, they keep on squeezing, keep on squeezing, keep on doing it all the time. Getting all the juices, getting on your life. And sometimes when you got good energy, you got to protect it. Because you got to think about it like this. People want to be around you because you got that good energy, you got that good aura, you got that good demeanor, and everybody love you. So they'll come around and try to steal that from you and all this other stuff. So you got to be careful who you let in your presence or who you spend your time with. So betrayal, man, it's a deep thing we all go through. And it starts very small, too, very minute, then it starts creeping up. So you got to just pay attention to people. You know what I'm saying? So that's my whole thing. Like, I'm always watching people. People ain't think I'm watching because I'm so loving and so in it, giving all the energy out. But I'm watching everything about everything around me, especially when you're trying to go to that level in life. You got to really protect yourself, man, because if you're not, you're going to fall, just like a lot of people have did. So you got to really be careful who you let in your presence, man, because it's a real thing. Energy. It's real.
And just one more thing, just to add on to that, because I don't want people thinking, oh, anybody that betrays you, just forgive them and be their friend again. No. Definitely protect yourself, but sometimes you got to look at a person's heart, and you got to be a good judge of character, because some people may betray you and grow from it. Some people may betray you and feel like they didn't do nothing wrong. So you just really got to look at the substance of a person's heart and look at their intention and really look at it and analyze it before you could just be like, forgive, but analyze it and then be like, all right, well, I'm going to love you from a distance or I'm going to take you back in. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, don't just forgive and just like allow people to run over you. No, don't do that.
Okay, I hear you. Now listen, we ain't about to cut off, but I just want y'all, if y'all liking this, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe. Please follow The Real Pod, because these dudes is really doing it. But I wanted to also say something about something you said, which is also, I think, is powerful. I don't know about everybody else, but when you were saying, like, you can't hold on to that kind of, like, energy because it's not just for you. I mean, not just for them. It's for you as well. Mm-hmm. Because I heard this one little story, and it's funny, some off-the-wall, old white folks tale. But there was these two dudes. They swore off, having sex for 30-plus years, became wizards, and they could do all this magic, change the world, everything they wanted to do, right? So then one of the two dudes found a brothel after he got all his magical powers, fucked the woman, and then his homeboy was like, why would you do this? You know what I'm saying? He hit it, let her go, and he still had his magic. He was like, bruh, you're the one that holds on to all the baggage. I hit it, and she gone. I don't even know where she at no more, but you're the one still thinking about her. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about it. You're carrying the weight of her. I don't carry nothing, and I still got my magic, baby. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But the things that we carry on as baggage over like smaller things, you do have to let it go. You know what I'm saying? And it's a difficult thing. And I try to teach that a little bit because the power of letting go is a little weird now because people use it to be like, well, I don't like one thing you did. I'm not fucking with you at all. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't really give somebody the opportunity to even be their true self before you let them go. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it is definitely discernment, you know what I'm saying? Trying to figure out what it is that you need in your life and what you don't need, and before you just dismiss people, because some people might have genuine and good intentions, but they're just not be able to portray it right at the time. You know what I'm saying? And you just got to tell them, like, look, I don't really need all that, and then maybe they can fix it up and then come back and then, you know, do something better in your life. But it's not something you have to carry too heavy.
We're all human. We're all prone to mistakes and fuck-ups. If you ain't never fucked up, you ain't human.
You're not at all. Okay, I got a good one for y'all. Okay, if you had one piece of advice for your younger self that you could give right now, what would it be?
Don't be scared, man. Don't be scared.
Okay.
Don't be scared.
And why is don't be scared?
Because sometimes we hold ourselves back by overthinking. Because I'm a very overthinker. I overthink. That's where the wisdom comes from. Because I overthink every goddamn situation. So I say don't be scared, because you might see a female you want to talk to. You might want to, get the job or whatever you want to do in life. And you may be too scared. Oh, they're going to reject me. They're going to do this. No. So don't be scared. Just keep going. And like I said, rejection is a blessing in disguise. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't understand that. So don't be scared. That's why I say that. That's good.
My advice to my younger self would be two things. Believe in yourself and don't listen to the people that's telling you no, that you can't do something.
Big facts.
Because I grew up around people, and people that love me too. When I sit there and share my dreams or aspirations, and when you're a kid, you got all types, like that shit changes, like, you know?
The season.
I'm telling you. So, like, when if you're not believing in yourself enough and you just listening to, oh, you can't do that, or do something more realistic, or like people trying to push what they think you should be in life, so my two thing is, if what I would tell my younger self is believe in yourself, believe in yourself, whatever you set your mind to, you can do it. And, man, don't listen to the naysayers. Don't listen to the people that don't believe in you. Because then that's just creating a situation where you're not believing in yourself. Okay. You can't listen sometimes.
Yeah, no, that definitely. So now this is going into my second part of what my pod is about, because I want everybody to try to strive towards becoming the best version of themselves. So you can't do that if you don't humble yourself, of course. You know what I'm saying? See what your flaws have been and be accountable. And honestly, that's a big episode I had, is being accountable to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't take accountability seriously anymore. It's more so. And I don't want to say narcissistic, because it's definitely a better word, but it's more so pointing the finger mentality nowadays. Because as soon as something is an issue, well, why the fuck they didn't do something right? You know what I'm saying? What did you do to put yourself in that situation? You know what I'm saying? Nobody says all those kind of things anymore. Well, damn, you know what I'm saying? For example, talking to my own mom, when the whole cocaine rush came to the black community, it was the government. But what did we do? We kept buying that shit. You know what I'm saying? We could have just said, nah, just how they be wanting us to go to these stores and, what is it?
To riot protest.
Yeah, like to riot protests and like not shop at like a Macy's or something like that. But the thing is, we don't communalize enough to make it stick. You feel what I'm saying? But we'll do it on smaller levels to cancel a person.
My bad.
There
I
we
had
go.
to think about it.
There we go.
Boycott.
But my thing is, so how can we as a group of people try to strive towards our best self without giving into all that negativity? That's the best way to say it.
I like that question. Number one, it's all about your mindset, man. And I think I said this probably on a podcast we had like a while ago. You got to really get with like-minded people, whether it's somebody that's white, whether somebody that's Spanish, because all skin folk ain't kin folk. Meaning, just because we black don't mean we related in any type of way. So you got to make sure that you get around people that's like-minded like you, and they might not look the same as you. You're like me and Manny. Manny's Spanish, I'm black. You know what I'm saying? But we got the same struggles. You get them, grew up together, my brother. So I always tell people like this, man, at the end of the day, when it all comes to being successful, get with people on the same track as you, the same mindset, want the same things you want in life. And I promise you it's going to work out every single time, because you might be friends with somebody, but you can't go in business with them because they don't see the same outlook you see. You get what I'm saying? So, like I said, just get with like-minded people. That's it. Life is simple, but we make it complicated with the things we do.
Damn.
That was a
You
good
stole
one.
the show with that one.
Because I was about to say, hold on, I'm going to just add something, because you were saying, like, some people might not be able to go in business with you, but to be honest with you, if you really that business mind oriented, sometimes you might have to turn that person into somebody that goes into business for you. You get what I'm saying? You got to hire them. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
You got to change.
Sometimes you got a boss, right? A boss,
I like it. I like it. Believe me, y'all doing some good stuff. Like if y'all haven't been seeing my peoples grow, they definitely been doing well. They don't got them a little
1,500 plus
hey,
subscribers on YouTube.
Hey, and growing. To make sure y'all say that and growing.
I'm gonna say this. Me personally, man, I want my boy to get the spotlight, man. You know, he just got out of prison, did some great things already, man. And look, and we got into the podcast, like I was already on the direction, you know, but
so you answered the question I was gonna ask y'all at the end.
He just basically solidified, like, man, Kai, why don't you interview me like on some Wallow and Gilly type thing, you know, Wallow and Gilly, right? Yeah. And so next thing you know, we just been rocking out ever since. And so I really want to put the spotlight on him, man, and just let him get his shine, man, because sometimes you like the spotlight.
He said,
because you know what I'm saying, because we all great at something.
Brotherhood, I love
it. Him to tell his story, like in the sense of like just promote yourself, because sometimes in life, man, like I ain't gonna lie, me personally, I'm good, I'm blessed, I'm straight, and I just want everybody else to grow around me that I really love, you know what I'm saying? So I want Manny to rock out, man. Go ahead, man.
But first off, let me say something before you get into it. I really love the brotherhood that you guys have, because it does take, you know, a community to really grow, you know what I'm saying? And to have somebody behind your back like this, you know what I'm saying, is very powerful, because a lot of people do want to tear you down. The world don't give a shit about you, you know what I'm saying? You work for a big company, these people don't give a shit. They just want to work you to the damn bone, and then, you know what I'm saying, once you're done, they're gonna replace you. They're gonna get a new person.
New opening right now.
I just say you get injured one time, they gonna have a temporary position, all of that. You know what I mean?
That's something. You know, that's something, a part of life that I learned through just observation. Right, with my father. My father came as an immigrant. My mom and dad came as immigrants from El Salvador. Right, and so
I say switch it all the way.
All right. So, you know, my mom and dad came as immigrants, and I saw my father work construction most of my life, you know what I'm saying? Then
dedicated probably too.
Yeah, but, you know, had very little to no education, right? And, you know, when I was still young, he got laid off, right? Like nothing, bro. My dad would go to work. He would work hard, right? My dad just got laid. Like, this company laid them off like it was nothing, bro. And it's just like, this was his livelihood. This was how he made a living, right? And, you know, that was once he got, because he had me over, like, what? He had me, like, he was in his 40s when I was born, right? So, you know, my dad, as I was getting older, he was becoming, you know, older. So they laid him off because he didn't have no real, like, you know, like, I guess he never really solidified himself to where as though he made himself an asset for that company. You know what I'm saying? He was real replaceable, right? So I would always look back at that situation as when I became a man, and I would like think about it a lot when I was in prison mainly, and I just be like, nah, I don't never want to be in that situation. I don't never want to be in that situation where I feel like a company could just replace me, or a company could just be like, all right, yeah, we done with you, right? That's why I'm like so big on I want to be my own boss. I want to have my own things. You know what I'm saying? And it's coming. It's coming. Just like, yeah. But that was a lesson for me, just seeing my father be replaced, like just, you know, thrown to the side after years of dedication to one company.
And that's first off, I shout out to your father for being a hardworking man in America. Pops, yo, because it's not a lot of, because your dad. I mean, your dad is just like how my grandfather was. He was building homes and stuff like that, and like a lot of that changed in America because that became obsolete. And then that's like we going back to the dating thing. They made it so that like blue collar jobs are, you know, seen as like trash jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like you're a less than person if you're doing those kind of jobs. And I think that's stupid because at the end of the day, you need those people to build those same places you want to walk into, those establishments.
All the money. They making all the money for real.
It's very crazy. And yes, they are making a lot of money now. But What do we value nowadays as people? Because we don't even value people that are hardworking anymore. It's more so clout.
Big facts.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't see a positive change coming from that, because even best way to even put it, all that clout chasing shit has destroyed the music industry. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody in the brown or black community won no awards in like the past year and a half or so. You feel what I'm saying? And they all sitting around looking like, well, we doing good because the records is selling. They just selling because people watching shit on the internet. They don't even they don't connect enough to people where they're like, okay, well, this song, this shit like really touched me, and I know that the lyricism in this joint is going, carry me through whatever time I got going on. And I know that we can tell, like, what I'm saying, there was certain songs that put us through, like, got us through some hard ass fucking times, some little shit, maybe like you broke up with somebody. I'm not talking, and a hard time for me, I'm talking about like you lost like some family members, shit is rough, like money's low, but y'all still gotta make it through, shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Can I name a song?
Go ahead.
Man, this song, like, this when I was in prison. The name of the song is In God I Trust. The artist is Kevin Gates. I'm talking about, listen, anytime that joint come on, because it's like, I felt that shit so much, bro. It's like God got me, woke me up, took me in, broke me down, sat me down, said make me proud. And it's like, that was my situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could be dead. I could be doing 30, 40 years. You know what I'm saying? It could be a lot worse for me. So, that song, like, really, really touched me. Like, every time I hear it, it's like, I feel it. So, I see what you're saying. Like,
yeah, because I was about to say, any artists now, though, that you could say that could do that, though?
I mean...
From the last, 2-3 years.
Okay, yeah, nah. A lot of it be fun music, but at the same time, it's very few. It's very few, and it's like, their whole substance is like, you could really feel that shit. You're like, all right, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And then, matter of fact, going back to the prison, cogwheel. I was just having this conversation earlier, and I really was like, it really touched me because they really have reinvented slavery with the whole prison system. Because I'm not too sure. Did you have any job work programs or anything like that? Did you have to build anything? But I just know that they have 89.9% of all the things that are made with American tags are made from people in prison. You know what I'm saying? There's no manufacturing companies like that and shit. They straight they pimp out a prison work. I mean, prison
get paid pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So, do you have any experience with that? That's what I wanted to ask.
So when I was in federal prison.
Okay.
And in federal prison, what they have is a system called Unicore. Okay. Unicore is it varies on where you're at, but they have different services. Like, I've been to a couple federal prisons where the last one the one that I got released from, they would make military uniforms and military coats, parkas and all that, stuff for the military. And then other ones, it just varies. I can't really name everything off the top of the head, but it was different. It was different type of factories. They were literally real factories. And me personally, oh man, you come and make some, make some decent money there in prison, right? And I just I couldn't get with it. I'm like, nah, fuck that shit. Yeah, fuck it. Right, I would do my best not to try to, because there were people, bootlicking ass motherfucker, they working in Unicore, whatever, nah. Because at the end of the day, you'll never know a person's situation. You might be cool because people sending you money. He might don't even have a family. You know what I'm saying? So you never know a person's situation, so you can't go based off of that, right? Me personally, I just couldn't get with it, but I try not to be judgmental about anybody, And it's my little hustle and there, towards the end of my time, I was doing sports, sports betting. Okay. Right? And that, I made a good,
Manny the bookie, that's what they call it.
I literally was a bookie, bro.
Yeah, man.
I was literally a bookie, bro. Okay. And it's just hey, one thing about it, when you're back against the wall, you gonna figure out a way. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta focus. My whole thing is that stuff didn't start falling in my lap until I started focusing on what I could do for myself. Early on, I was young, dumb, not inexperienced, and I was kind of man, my homie's not sending me no money, or, and then eventually I'm just man, fuck that shit. Let me just think about what I could do for myself.
So you just said something that was crazy, too. So did it feel personal, though, because they couldn't, help you out in the inside? Because, for them, they probably might have been in a whole different mindset. I got all this XYZ, my family going on, and it's two different worlds.
Yeah, nah. Somewhat it did. But as I grew and matured, it didn't. Okay. Right? It didn't. It was just more so I just kind of detached myself mentally. Nobody. I just I had to stand alone. It's point blank period. No matter what, because it's not we was in the when I went to prison, my friends and the people that was around me, we was not in no good situations. we weren't in no good situations. Some of my friends was broke. Some of them was locked up. You know, like, it wasn't in a good situation. My family wasn't like, they wasn't in the streets and they wasn't, you know, so they was working regular jobs. My mom was, you know, on, not unemployment, but like SSI, whatever.
What is that?
Disability. She was on disability. But, you know, my father was on unemployment. You know, like, it was a struggle. So I didn't go into prison in a situation where I'd be like, oh, nah, my people's got me. I'm cool, right? You know, so but you young and, you know, you immature and just like, damn, like, you'll kind of feel bad, like, damn, why people not looking out for me? Like, the most people that looked out for me was family. You know what I'm saying? But then, like, as I grew, and then especially when I got out of prison, I started to really understand, like, hold up, like, people got shit going on. You know, I can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna send Manny a hunt. Like, if I'm me right now, right, I can, but I also can't.
Right, because
I can, but I also can't. But, like, it's like you had so much going on out here the way it was like, you can't just sit there and prioritize, you know, like, it's hard. It's like, for me, I was like, oh, shit, like, now I understand. Like, I'm out here trying to figure it out. I'm out here, you know, and not everybody's situation is the best. So it's like, you know, for a little bit, I did take it personal. But then, like I said, once I stopped focusing on what somebody could do for me and how they could help me and what they wasn't doing, and started focusing on what I could do for myself, is when I really started to help myself. Okay. You know what I'm saying? That's the best thing I could have done.
That's powerful, man, because, you know, a lot of people, they take it too hard. And that's why, you know, because I was curious myself, like, even because I've had, you know, some brothers go to you know, prison and stuff like that, and, like, I haven't been, you know, in a secure place because I take care of my mother, you know what I mean? Like, I financially support her and stuff like that. So when people call me asking for money, I'm like, look, if y'all not helping me take care of my mom, I don't give a shit what y'all got going on. Because it's like, I can't take from her, you know what I'm saying, and then be worried about y'all. That's like having another kid. I don't even have no kids. It don't make sense to me. You feel what I'm saying? So it's a little weird. But then at the same time, I do understand that, like, you know, if you're in dire straits, you looking for somebody to look out for you. And it's not like I'm trying to be a dick about it, but it's like, I can't put my hand out for you and then be slapping the hand out for somebody else who actually relies on me. So it's like that, you know what I'm saying? Because, like my one homeboy, he's been in a couple times. Hey, yo, what the fuck? What? Hey, yo. My bad, y'all. He been in a couple times, and I know he's called. He asked me, and I was like, I haven't had it. And, like, at the time when he called, like, the first time, I was in the process of getting married and stuff like that. Never got married, but, you know what I'm saying? Never got married. You know what I'm saying? Things happen, you know what I mean? But it was just like, you know, at the time, I was putting all that money into the marriage that I never got into. So it did hit me like, damn, I could have looked out. You feel what I'm saying? Because I wasted all this time and energy with something that really wasn't, you know, doing for me. And then he got out. He was at every event, you know what I'm saying? He's a barber. He was helping, you know, shaping up kids, all this other stuff, because I was doing community events. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, I knew that, like, you know, reciprocity don't always work the way we want it to. You feel what I'm saying? But not even to get into all of that. We can change the topic, man. I'm not going to keep it on that. I think we kind of got into this, but I do want to talk about it in a different way. Do you think that cancel culture is an appropriate way to hold individuals accountable for their actions? So, like, for example, like how they did, like Trump and all that other kind of stuff, is just saying, like, I don't want to hear this man no more and shutting him up. Matter of fact, even a better example, I don't know if y'all seen the other podcast, the Fresh and Fit.
Yeah, Fresh and Fit.
They just got, they just got canceled or whatever. Because of how they do business over on their joint. But I just feel like, now, I don't agree with everything that they be having going on the show, but I just feel like they got shut down without, you know, fully, you know, seeing both sides. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, they do a lot of ratchet shit on their show. You know what I'm saying? And it can be triggering for certain people, but it does bring a lot of things into society to light that we don't even kind of, you know, conversate about. But I just felt like, to cancel them, though, just like, I honestly, even like we was talking about, and I'm going to talk to y'all about that in a second, to Kevin Samuels, but even how they wanted to cancel Kevin Samuels because he was being a little harsh, but he was giving hard truths. You know what I'm saying? He was a funny dude. I'll keep it a buck. Like, I'll keep it a buck. I saw his stuff, and I honestly was put the fuck off. I was like,
whoa.
I was like, yeah, nah. Son. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I take care of my mother. I was like, my mother can never listen to this shit. I can't have this man out here talking this wildness. But then I sat down myself, and I was like, okay, I can't be that person that's like, okay, I'm anti your shit, but never really listen to all you got to say. You know what I'm saying?
real, yeah.
So then when I sat down and listened to it, I was like, well, damn, I'm seeing what people are getting wrong because y'all clipping it and y'all only getting the parts where y'all want to be like, okay, this is sensational.
The hard shit. Yeah. But it's like something, like, that's the other thing. Like, if, man, you sit there and, like, you let it be known that you listen to this podcast, or even if you're reposting stuff, like, people will judge you based off of that. You know what I'm saying? Which, in a way, they have some merit to it, but at the same time, it's like, nah, like, I might see something in it that you don't see.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But, like, when you say cancel culture, it's like, it's funny to me because it's like, don't we live in this so-called land of the free?
You would think that, right?
Like, and that's just kind of crazy to me. It's like, you
but listen, as all YouTubers right here on this channel, we even censored ourselves because can't cuss like we want to. Like, I'm not to say I'm just trying to be profane or whatever, but it's like it's conversational tools. You know what I'm saying? Like this motherfucker or something like that. Like stuff like that goes into a part of conversation.
When you're a real one, you can't be canceled. I'm gonna tell you like this: you got a good fan base, you got a good audience, man. I'm telling you, they gonna stick with you no matter what. So Fresh and Fit, Kevin Samuels, you got one of my greatest influences, Coach Greg Adams. There's so many people they try to cancel, but when you got that core fan base, that audience that's rocking with you, bro, you can never be canceled. They try to cancel Kanye, they trying to cancel Trump. My Gemini brothers, you know what I'm saying? We can't never be canceled, man. We gonna always continue to go out on top, man. So, like I say, just build up that fan base. You know, coach, you got to watch what you say because we live in a time full of weak people. A lot of people are sensitive, even these so-called men, right? They very sensitive, you know what I'm saying? Very feminine. So it's kind of like, you know, it's a shame we got to watch what we say. Like Manny was saying, we live in a land of the free, man. You supposed to be able to speak your mind without no repercussion. If people don't like it, hey, at the end of the day, it's just my opinion. You don't got to agree. So you can't be canceled when you're in a room, like I say, man. And it's the real podcast with juice. You understand?
Hey, listen, y'all. So is it worth the squeeze? Is the juice worth the squeeze, y'all? But no, as a little tip for y'all too. So just so y'all know, with the whole little freedom of speech thing being a little issue for your streamers and stuff like that, if y'all trying to venture out, another way to get monetized a little quick too, Rumble, y'all. Get on Rumble. Rumble, you can say whatever you want to say, however you want to say. You can bring out the real pod all the way. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we gonna get the ratchet jinx on
But
yeah, y'all. Hold on, let me get in here. Okay, yeah, this is a good one too. I'm sorry, I was trying to go off the natural flow, y'all, but I got
professionalism, man.
I got some mandated questions. I said I had to get out the way. I got about 7 more of them, so y'all be good.
Rock out, man.
So what have been the biggest setbacks and or backlash you've received while creating and building the podcast?
That's cool.
Let me go ahead, man. I'm going to say this. A lot of people always trying to tell you what they think they know best with you. They never done a podcast before. Oh, y'all should do this. Y'all should fix this. I'm like, golly, like, y'all ain't never done a podcast. They ain't even got no content, no nothing, man. So it's kind of like, I'm going to say this. Don't listen to nobody. All they doing is blowing a whole lot of hot air, telling you what things work for you. But Manny, like he was saying, when we shoot in the gym, ain't nobody with us. We be down here by ourselves unless we bring some females through and everybody want to show up. So like I say, man, listen to your goddamn self. You don't need to listen to nobody else and do it your way. Go ahead, Manny, rock out.
Yeah. Man, that's a real shit. Like biggest, one of the biggest challenges, like you said, is people having their opinions or feeling like, some people, probably just because they know you, feel like they have, and it's cool, but like, and sometimes keep that shit to yourself. Right? I'm not sitting here asking you to tell me how to do something, especially if you've never done it before. But something that I'm kind of like learning is like, seeing like the hate. You motherfuckers hate, but like it's like people be hating like they get paid for this shit. And I just be like, hold it, I be like, again, it kind of like goes back to this stuff. Was like, I be like, hold up, like disrespect, is a big thing. Like, don't disrespect, right? But at the same time, it's like like he be telling me like, bro, like let that, like let it come.
They gonna never see those people.
Yeah, that for one. Haters. Like if you basically like, I'm gonna go back to that term. Was like, you not doing something right if people not hating. If you don't got no haters, you ain't doing enough.
Say it one more time, man.
If you don't got no haters, you not doing enough. I'm telling you, man. So we appreciate the haters because we know we doing something.
Got to.
Man. Then some of the other backlash, I would say more so constructive criticism, but also it kind of like borderlines with people that never done this before. is like, man, people like, oh man, when y'all first started, y'all was doing this. Why y'all changed that up and y'all started doing this? Or why y'all, bringing these type people on there? Because it's the real. We bring like, of course we're being a little more selective about the type of people we bring and who we bring. But at the end of the day, like, not everybody is gonna be perfect. Not everybody's gonna be a fucking superstar. Or not everybody has to have these, has to have a certain type of credibility for you to actually sit there and hear their perspective. If you don't want it, don't listen to it.
That's biggest thing I ever heard. Take everything with a grain of salt. If it ain't for you, let that shit go. If it is, you put that shit on. That's it.
Shoot back at it.
Yes, sir. So yeah, I wouldn't tell y'all. So yeah, I don't tell people this, but I actually have some faceless pages that I take care of, and I had some really crazy backlash from this one video. I was catering something to Robert Kiyosaki, and it was a little short. And to be honest with you, it got the most comments I ever seen. It like 20,000 fucking comments, all of that. It's over 8 million views. Y'all can see it. Since I'm talking about it, the Wealth Chronicles on TikTok. But 15 seconds, people hate that video. But that's the most video I ever got shared. All of that shit. So honestly, yes, it is the biggest. It's the biggest shared. Where my phone at? Show the man. Show the man. It is. Show it from your phone.
That's a big fact too. I saw that jump. Yeah,
negative backlash comes harder than anything.
Yeah, and it's really crazy because like, I try to push positive narrative, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I see the fact that negativity is so pushed that people don't watch anything that's positive. Like Lifetime movies are all negative about the stories that would never really happen, but that's going to make these people's minds work about what it could be.
I hate that shit.
Yo, I can't stand Lifetime. I can't stand Lifetime.
Like they say, negativity is a thief that steals happiness, man.
Yes.
Negativity, bro.
A perfect example of the little Lifetime joint that I really hated. It became very real though. The little girl who got kidnapped at birth. Joint.
Oh yeah, I think what's that girl named Akilah in the Beat? She played her in the movie.
Yeah. I forgot her name too.
I can't even think of her name.
But that whole scenario, homegirl got kidnapped as a baby. Mother had been looking for her over like 19 years, right? Found her, then told her like, yeah, I'm your mom and all this other stuff. Shorty, you weird.
Yeah,
he got on some creepy shit.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm weird for looking for you. You're my child, dog. Like, what?
All those years looking for my daughter.
And she just like, yeah, nah. But it's stuff like that though that shows you that like, it don't matter, bro. Like, and that's why I think this is like another key reason though. I feel like the pod is like serious.
Yeah, for sure. It's real.
It's serious though because you know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers just be. Hold on, I'll let you watch it.
I didn't know if I was supposed to watch it or not.
Nah, do your thing.
It's the real juice.
They hated this shit?
Hated it. But it was a part one to a whole series that I had started. Exactly. And they had started throwing, they didn't give it a chance. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is why people can't go viral for the stupidest shit. And that's
the crate challenge.
Tell you.
Did you listen? I if you get a chance, watch my episode on the Pinky Doll Shawty. I'm gonna tell you about her right now.
That's the Shawty that was on OnlyFans.
Yeah, she wasn't even trying to be on OnlyFans. That's what she was trying to say. So Pinky Doll, if you ain't know Manny, I don't know if you know about her. She is Shawty on TikTok and she fakes as an AI.
Oh, you did. I know exactly.
Yeah.
Yum. Thank you for ice cream, bro. That shit drives me
but
crazy.
you know how much money she makes off that?
I'm not.
She makes
making some money off of it.
3 months ago, she was making $7,000 a day doing that.
Whoa.
$7,000 a day.
That's crazy.
That was just that. And then
let me practice.
Let me go. Bop bop.
Only thing I'm not doing is the glizzy shit.
Oh yeah.
I ain't doing that. Nah, y'all got me fucked up.
Glizzy strong.
I ain't tripping with the glizzy, boy. I ain't lying to you.
Hey, bro, that shit was hilarious.
No, but yeah, homegirl. So that homegirl. See, and this is where society is taking a bad point because that homegirl, she did all of that, the little AI stuff, but then, like he said, she also did the OnlyFans with somebody she was dating at the time. And it's funny because how it all came out because somebody leaked the news that she was having on leaked the ex pictures she had on so we don't neither one of us get demonetized for that. the little X pictures that she had on her page or whatever, she got mad about it because she got exposed, and then was trying to cry on TikTok to regular people like, why would y'all do this to me? Like, you know that I was out here giving y'all got this special and you just giving it out for free. And I'm just like, wait a minute. It's not special. It's a price line. I paid for it. I got access to it. Now I can do whatever I want. It's just like you buy candy at the store. Once I buy that candy, shut it. It's my candy. You can't
throw that shit against the wall.
You know what I'm saying? I can share it with my friends. Anything. You can't be mad. You know what I'm saying? I paid my good money. It's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it was just like stuff like that. And then like, you know that the biggest thing now is like people don't even think about their integrity. You know what I'm saying? Because like, even with that, it's always going to be the whole spinning cycle of if you're going to do X work, you know what I'm saying? Are you thinking about your future after the fact? Especially if you're going to be somebody with kids and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then all the stuff that you're doing, is it going to weigh back on you further down the line? You know what I mean? Mm. So that's why I be like, yeah, nah, bro, you have to take accountability for all this kind of shit because the backlash and all that other kind of stuff is just you being held accountable for what you're doing. It's your actions. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, yeah, I get backlash. But just like you were saying, like, I take most of it as constructive criticism. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, I got a brother. He was talking about the camera, like it's too close and all the other kind of stuff. So, like, I only got the one lens at the time, right? So anybody out here watching it, I want to support both me and the Real Pod. We need some money, so please, hit us with some super chats, all that brand deals, all that good stuff. But I'm starting with this one little lens. He's like, I want to see something else. So to me, that's like, okay, I got to go buy a new camera. You know what I'm saying? That's just helped me to build. But it's always how you interpret whatever you get, too. You know what I'm saying? Instead of taking it as, well, damn, I'm just fucked up. But just like you said, it's a lot of people who ain't doing shit who are going to be the main ones commenting, too. Like, everybody comes on my joint, why are you so harsh on these and these people? Because that's my opinion. Why does it matter to you how I feel about what I feel about? You know what I'm saying? If you have a different opinion, please have a conversation with me. That's cool. But don't be trying to tell me how I should think.
Just don't watch it.
Yeah, or just don't watch it. You know what I'm saying? You could next it. It's so much things on the internet. You ain't gotta watch me.
Big facts.
You ain't got to.
Big facts.
You could watch dolphins playing for all I care.
The real.
For sure.